Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm Professor X. Thank you for subscribing to the Higher Learning Agency. If you're not subscribed, make sure you do so. Like it. Today, I'll be talking about shapeshifters, right? And how they are what we have heard is the God's return in our galactic family that has come back to help us pretty much in this age. And so sit back and relax and let's have some fun. Before I get started on that though, I do want to address the 53 subscribers that I have. Thank you for helping me to get my goal. I do have a list, right? And so YouTube does not allow me to see all the 53 names that subscribe. So I'm gonna need you to do an extra step and leave a comment. Leave a comment, any comment that you would like. If you don't see your name on this list and you know you subscribe to my channel, now it's probably backwards. But if you didn't leave a comment, I probably don't have your name on this list. Out of 53 subscribers, I only have 23 names, okay? So we are going to, my husband, my divine masculine, is waiting for the list of 50. So he can do a Cash App drawing. He's gonna go live on Facebook. That's the Cash App Deek over there. But I will also be going live as well here because that was the whole goal, was to get 50 subscribers so I can also go live, okay? So now that I got that out the way, so yes, I think I will give you some time. I don't want to give y'all too much time because it's Friday. Today is Friday, is April 11th, Friday, 2025. And we're about to send you a Cash App. You gonna wait till Monday? And so we don't want to wait till Monday. My husband is anxious for the person that won to, I'm giving her time. Because sometimes we just don't be on here like that. But, you know, like I said, I'm going to be committed to y'all. I'm committed to what I'm sent to do. And so I'm here because y'all are listening. So I did look up the planetary alignment for April today, 11th. And everything is still in the same alignment. So, with talking about shapeshifters, I'm going to revisit the stories that I told you before, and then I have some other stories to include so we can understand the return of our galactic family, or the return of the gods, you know, and we are the children of God, and the elements around us are here to assist and help us take back the thing that was stolen, you know. And so once you come into this truth, no one can take your freedom from you, and you create heaven on earth. You become a true alchemist. You understand the principles of the world around you because you understand that this is how they operate. This is their personality, so to speak, their archetype. So I'll get into that as long as you keep on following my channel. I'll try not to bombard you with so much information in one video, and we'll just stick to the subject, okay? So today's subject is shapeshifters. And to get an understanding of shapeshifters, I want to start out with Maat, Mother Maat. And some of you know who she is, but she is a water goddess. She is the water goddess. She is a primordial goddess. She is our mother. Mommy, she is the Mami Wata, the mama of us all. She is known also as the Milky Way star constellation. It is her tail, right? The Milky Way star constellation is her tail, but she is water. She is the etheric waters, the primordial waters. She is our mother. When God, the Spirit of God, moved upon the face of the waters, consciousness moved on waters. This was the divine masculine and the divine feminine coming together and procreating. And out of the two, they created the entire universe, what we see right now. Mother Maat, we're talking about shifters, so please stick with me. And we're going to talk about the principles? The principles of water. We know that, and did I tell you how I met Mother Maat? And I'll tell you that. I'll get to that. We know that water is a liquid, a solid, and a gas, depending on the atmosphere, depending on the climate. They interact with each other. There's an interaction taking place. And so that is a form of shape-shifting from a liquid to, or from a solid to a liquid to a gas, a puff of smoke. That is the beginning of understanding shape-shifting. I had to give you that. This is our mother, the great mother who all of creation comes from. That's right. They say God is a woman. God is the divine masculine and the divine feminine coming together to create something, because they are great and they have metaphysical properties in themselves. But it's about synergy when two things come together to create something. We're talking about shapeshifters. Now, so Mother Maat, she can transcend the different realms because she is gas, liquid, and she can show up as a solid. Case in point, I seen a video. And I told you I thought it was strange because land and water is completely different. But I seen today where a spirit was on an inanimate object, which is why I'm bringing you today shape-shifting. Because we're going to talk about shadows too, right? But I'm going to slow walk this. So I'm telling y'all, you better get comfortable. So here's the story. Someone says they took a satellite picture and it was a landmass. This is a landmass, and a landmass looked like a dragon in the sea. I've seen depictions of the water goddess as a dragon, a solid form dragon that comes out of the sea. I've seen that in like what was I watching? Some Greek I love those cartoons, a Greek mythology cartoon. And you know, they be having these summits every year about the ice caps melting, which I believe have everything to do with the Great Resurrection. And the fact that these primordial deities, gods, family members, these are our family. We come from the Great Mother. We're related to all of these. That's what the meetings were about. And consciousness, because we're getting visitations, which is why I need to talk about this. We're getting visitations. And I need you to be able to recognize when you're getting a visitation from your family members. When you have beings that done came down to assist you, to take what belongs to you, to assist you to get to your next goal. Book me for a reading. I can tell you what angel is trying to assist you, what is assisting you. But beyond that, so I seen a video where she was in a solid form. It looked like a big dragon. She was as big as a landmass. Then I don't know if you caught another video where I shared with you that I seen her in the clouds. What are clouds made of? Those are vapors of water. And whatever other chemicals, I can't really get into it. But she's the goddess of water. And water comes out them clouds. The precipitation drops. Boop. So I seen a cloud that was shaped like a beautiful dragon. I'm talking about with the whiskers on the nostrils and on the chin, you know, like the Kung Fu dragon that you see in the beginning of the Kung Fu flick. The cloud painted the picture. The cloud was so detailed. That's what the cloud was so detailed. And yet still, because I always get esoteric messages, I ain't even pointed out to my husband because it's a freaking cloud. It's cloud. And this is, we play ourselves all the time. Be like, oh, that's not what it was. That's not what it was. Yes, it was. Stop denying your inner gifts. Stop denying that small, still voice that keeps trying to talk to you. So I didn't tell him what I saw. And I think that we had a very heated discussion. That I ended up walking out the house at probably 1 a.m. And the sky was scripture would say terrible. It looked like fiery blood smoke. It was terrifying. It stopped me in my tracks when I opened my door. But I was so heated and I needed a walk. I didn't care. I didn't care what the sky looked like. If something was going to bust through that sky right then and there, well then dang, there it go. Whoop, there it was. So I'll go outside, go for a walk, and I'm praying. And after my walk, about 45 minutes later to an hour later, I'm on my way back home and I look in that direction and guess what I see? The dragon with all the details. I see the dragon again. And it was less than 24 hours that I had saw the first dragon in the clouds. Mother Maat, and I didn't even know who she was at the time, but I have been provoking angels by setting up fountains in my house, water fountains. So I provoked the water angel. I provoked her. She showed up because I kept running fountains in my house and rocks, you know, to create this energetic flow in my home. Because I like to play with frequencies. I'll teach y'all how to play with frequencies to create heaven on earth. When you understand the principles of the elements that are around you and how they operate, then you'll be able to manipulate your reality to get the desired results that you want. And so I like to play with that. Yes, I'm a life path number 9. I'm an alchemist. I live a life of completion. And I feel complete. And that's why I'm here. I'm so glad I can help y'all. So anyway, back to shape shifting. So Mother Maat, she's water and she shape shifts. You got that, right? Let me see what else I have on here. Okay, so now did I finish telling you that story? That was the end of that story. So now let's talk about the word Anunnaki. Oh, yes! This is good stuff. Let's talk about the word Anunnaki. Don't forget to like. If you like what I'm putting down, make sure you like this video. And if you subscribed and you have not commented on any of my videos, make sure you drop a comment on this video so you can get a chance to win a Cash App. And I think my husband wants to give away a free reading as well. He's going to pay for a free reading for somebody. So, but let's talk about the Anunnaki. There is a channel I like to watch, PZ and his wife. They have a ministry. They read out of some old holy books. What are the name of these books? Like the Book of the Grandmothers, and these are holy books that were written by our divine holy family that will lead us back to heaven, home. And the Most High, you want to know what they call him? Anoki said. Anunnaki. Anoki said. Anunnaki. Okay. I'm not reaching. Just walk with me. Anoki said is translated as his loving kindness. And ever since I found that out, which was not this New Year in March, but the last New Year's, because we celebrate the holy feast days according to the rotation and cycles of the earth and not according to the Gregorian calendar. Of course, I have to recognize it because the rest of the world that's how they're communicating on it. But I know how the heavens is communicating and, the everything around us. So, and because when you go on heaven's time, heaven can talk to you when you're in alignment, with the divine seasons. And those divine seasons help us to get in alignment. So, it was not this past March, the New Year, but last year, the New Year, where PZ and his wife were reading out of those books. And we did some rituals. We put a fire in our back. We burned some cedar wood. We confessed our sins. We had a pillowcase that we invited Enoki said. Everyone had a pillowcase in our whole family. There's 6 of us. A couple is supposed to have a pillow with the pillowcase in between them. So we slept with the pillow in between us. And that pillow was a representation of Enoki said sleeping with us. And this is not in a defiled manner at all. It was an expression showing that he came down to commune with us. This was a holy communion. And that we're family. You know how family all get in the bed with each other and cuddle up in a thunderstorm or watch a movie or something, or get on the chair in the living room. It was like that. And each child had a pillow. And that pillow was for, Enoki said, his loving kindness. And during that time, my husband, he's such a prophet. He's so prophetic. During that season, he came to me on the bedside and he asked me, he goes, what do you call it when you are just overcome with happiness? And I looked at him. I didn't think about it. I'm like, elated. Elated. You're elated. He provoked me to speak that word in my life. And ever since, that is what I've been feeling. I have never cried so many tears of joy in my life. And yes, I've cried some tears of sorrow. Those are liberating also, because it's a chemical release that's happening. But I was crying tears of joy because Anoki said he really showed himself to be his loving kindness. And before then, I had been studying Hebrew too. So there's a gentleman that requested a reading from me. He did actually pay for a reading for me. And we did do some mentorship. Now he wants to learn how to read. And I told him that we're going to have to start with symbolization with, you know, the Hebrew alphabet, the original Sanskrit Hebrew alphabet. Because the symbols, they are universal. And each symbol or etch or stitch, it has a vibrational meaning. A whole definition behind it. And then we'll go from there. We'll start with Hebrew and then go into Kemetic symbolism. And then you should be able to read any tarot card after that. But Anoki said his loving kindness, he showed himself to be that. And I was elated with all the blessings that came after doing these rituals with my family. I'm talking about shape-shifting. Why did I put this here? Okay, Anoki said, anew. So the Hebrew alphabet, there is, because if you go through, I'm going to have to get on here and teach y'all the alphabet. There's a story from Aleph to Ta, the last letter, the 22nd letter in the alphabet. There's a story being told. 22? Yeah, 22. And a lit. 5, 10, 15, 20, 22. Lord have mercy. But really, from Aleph to Tav, it's a story that's being told. And it is the divine story. It is the divine story of how we take back everything. And in the alphabet is a new day. So maybe that'll be the next thing that I'll come and make a video of, is teaching the Hebrew alphabet on here, the symbols and what they mean, and telling the story on how it prophesies about a new day. This is why, you know, there's a sister, she's so faithful. I hope you win, Sister Latoya Pulley. She is so faithful. She is always commenting and so active on my videos. I really appreciate you, sis. I hope you did not take offense today when you said good morning. I try to use every moment as a teaching moment if I have the time. And morning, we're not morning anymore. Morning is over. The morning days are over. It's a new day. It's been prophesied that there is a new day that was coming. And that new day is here. Anoki said a prophecy. Guess what else? We are called Nubians. They called us Nubians. a new being. And that's what happens when you tap into your higher purpose, when you tap into your ghost, because you are a child of God, you got a Holy Ghost. You came through them stars down here through your mama's portal. You a ghost too. You can travel. You shape shift, but you leave this body here when you do it. Follow me. New beings. We're new beings. Anoki said, Anu. They call him Anu. Anoki, what, Nibiru. All of these things are play on words to deny the Nubians. Just like yesterday when I read the story of Andromeda, they put an A in front of the word Ethiopia. So when I first saw the story, I didn't even realize that was Ethiopia. Andromeda is an Ethiopian. And then do you know that the reason they were called Ethiopians is because they were etheric beings? We are etheric beings. Now, shape-shifting. Speaking of etheric beings, y'all don't, first of all, don't get on my nerves and act like you did not see that big sphere around the sun. It's bigger than the sun. It has been said that there are spaceships that are twice the size of our plane, our planet, whatever you want to call it. And I know that these circles are consciousness, just like the stars in the sky are balls of consciousness. So that big orb on the other side of the sun that you can see when the sun is rising in the morning or in a brand new day. And when the sun sets, you can sometimes see the huge orb behind the sun. What scriptures say about that? The sign of the Son of Man will appear in the heavens, and they be trying to cover it up. But this is consciousness. And the reason I have to bring this out to you because I want you to understand shape-shifting energy. Shapeshifters. Because our family, the heavenly forces are here to help us. They have returned. They've returned inside your DNA. And these forces are working through us. We work together. Synergy. The spirit moves across the waters. We're water. We're water beings. You're supposed to have 80, 90, I don't know the statistics. You know that we are water beings. You got blood. You're full of liquid. Liquid crystals. Water is a crystal, a liquid crystal. Blood is a liquid crystal. Crystals give off vibration. So we're talking about shape-shifting. Activating our crystals. Y'all shapeshift. Y'all astral travel when you dream at night. You're not in your body. And when you die, your essence may still be left here, but you've transcended. You done shapeshifted to a different. Life goes on. Energy don't die. It goes on. It recycles. A life is a cycle. You've been here before. Your genes been here before. Your genetics been here before. And you can tap into ancient genetics. We got the Akashic records in our DNA. This is why you're supposed to pray and meditate. You can tap into anything. We are gods. Christ said, greater works will you do than I did. All right, so I'm at almost 30 minutes now. And I'm talking about shapeshifters. Because I don't really think that I got to the good stuff yet. So just before I move on to shadows, I'm going to talk about shadows. I want to do a recap on yesterday's video if you didn't see the video about Medusa. Because Medusa was a very powerful, she had tapped into the nature, which is living forces, and she was able to heal people. And a lot of times, even just like the Christ stories, we're not afraid of death because we understand that there is no death. You just transcend. And so when Perseus cut her head off, he took her head. He still was able to use her power. There was power in her head. And he took the head, and that's how he slayed the Kraken, the sea beast. And it's in the stars. The sun is actually surrounded right now by the sea beast, the ram, Andromeda. What was the ram? Ham. The throat chakra. Yep. The ram and Pisces. And Venus is inside the head of a fish. Pisces cut off because Venus is one of our mothers, like a mother. We came through her. He cuts off her head. So out of her severed head comes a Pegasus. In the story, the Pegasus is eternal. So maybe that's her flying or her final state, but she transcends and she's in the heavenly realm. So being that she is the goddess of flying horses, maybe she's the goddess of all the horses. Andromeda. And that's exactly what it sounds like when these beings run. Andromeda, Andromeda, Andromeda. How does it sound when these beasts be running on the ground? Andromeda. That it sounds like running horses. So she definitely must be the goddess of horses. And this was her final state that she rose to. She got the highest place in the stars. But her essence, her power, was still able to be used in the natural realm where we're at. Well, we call it the natural realm. What would I call it? The physical realm. But it's all physical. That's why it's called metaphysics or quantum physics. It's all physical. It's just not 3D. You know. So yeah. So now let's talk about shadows. So Andromeda, also known as Pegasus, the princess of Ethiopia, she does not have a body on this realm anymore. But her energy is very much accessible. You can call upon it. And I'm sure she show up. But she does not have a body. She's ascended. She had a body. But you could call on her and ask for her strength. And so, shadows. I remember and you guys probably see shadows all the time, but I'm just and I see shadows all the time too. But this one particular story, I'm going to bring out. I ain't drinking no hard liquor, but I do have my crown. You do know corona means crown in Espanol. Corona. So yeah, take it as a sign. I'm royalty. The champagne of beers, ain't that what I call it? So, and the god needed to be lubricated, the goddess. Needed some libations. Hello. Okay. So this particular story, because we see shadows all the time, and I need you to know that if you perceive that something there, it is. And it's not for you to be afraid of either. They can't do much, although the story I'm about to tell you. So they can't. I said they can't do much. So, my mom lived in this place in Renton, Washington. I love it. It overlooked the highway, and you could see 5 cities from where she lived at. She lived in Renton. I could see Skyway, Bowling. I could see West Seattle. I could see Bellevue. I could see Tukwila from where she lived at. Like, you could see 5 cities. You could see Lake Washington from where my mom lived at. So it was really, really nice. And my mom, she always got the Kool-Aid house. She's a Sagittarius. She's very intuitive. And she is like very popular with charismatic. Charismatic is the word. Like, you just fall in love with her. Like, if you think I'm charismatic, she is way, way more charismatic than me. I'm different. I can say I'm different. You know, I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but everybody love them some Sheila Beela. Okay? So, that's my mom. So she stayed in this beautiful, she always has nice houses too. Always have nice homes. And the balcony, you can walk out to the balcony, and the balcony look all, you know, the whole city. And you see Lake Washington and all of that. Anyway, so one night we were all kicking it like we do. And she was cooking like she do. And we was probably playing dominoes and, you know, just all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? What you find at the party, okay? And I don't know what happened first. I think I bumped into the spirit first. That's what it was. Because it was something that I knew then. I was walking down the hallway in her house, in her, you know, her building, because actually that was like there was other homes in there. You know, it was a high-rise kind of. Maybe like 4 homes there, 4 other places, or 2 other places, 2 or 3 others. Anyway, I was walking down the hallway in her particular unit, and there was a dark corner, and the wall bumped into my shoulder. I'm walking down. The wall bumped into my shoulder. And I look, and it's just a dark shadow. It looks like a regular shadow. But I perceived that there was a spirit there. And I looked, because I felt it. Like, what the fuck you hit me on my shoulder for? That's how I was feeling, like, not how I was feeling. And, you know, I'm looking at this shit. And nobody ever taught me about this stuff. So then I brush it off like it ain't what I thought. But I was also very spiritual. So then I see, now there's multiple people in the house because we partying. Then the spirit jump on somebody. It was, I could tell. So, it jumped on somebody, and it was causing confusion. And I pulled my mom aside and took her in the back room. I took her in the back room, and I said, Mom, I was walking down the hallway, and there was a spirit in the hallway, and it bumped into me. I said, And there was I can't remember exactly what the confusion was that started in the house. All I know that spirit was jumping on folks in the house. And I said, we need to pray. And we prayed. And as soon as we came out the house, do you know our company left? Or as soon as we came out the bedroom, it wasn't even 5 minutes. I don't even think it was 3. It might not have even been 1 minute. When we came out that room, the company left the house. Talking to you about shadows and shapeshifters. Shapeshifters. Because they don't have a body. They don't, remember? Some people might have passed on you. This is why I offer curse breaking services, because you might have family members that are stuck here and you might need to help them go on about their business. And I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes, but let me tell you something. You calling on Jesus, he was just like you and me. He was a Christ like you and me. We're all Christ. He's not before the other deities or our other foreparents that come before us. But he learned this and he was able to communicate with nature and the elements. So is Buddha. Buddha is another walking Christ. He was another man that mastered the elements. He was a master alchemist. He walked in harmony with nature. And so, you got to utilize your whole family. I'm not stepping on Christ. I'm saying you are Christ. Because I met many people that I see the Christ activation. Greater works will you do than I did. We are the children of God in the flesh. And you got family members that are probably trying to communicate with you. So now I done told you about shadows and how they don't have any bodies. We at 42 minutes. And I'm about to close this. This is about to be my last story that I'm going to tell you. And this was a visitation that I had today that provoked me to share this video with you. So, I'm in my room praying, giving thanks, because life is a bitch and you better know how to finesse her. And if you constantly cursing her out, she ain't gonna give you nothing good. Cuss your mama out. Cuss your sister out. Cuss your girlfriend out. And see, won't you get a sloppy plate of food or something if you get that. So, and you know, it's all about priming the atmosphere. And it's raining today. I teach portal magic. Don't be so sad when the rain comes up. The atmosphere is prime. Do you know that when you are born, you come through the womb with water? We all are born through water. Mama Mayat. So yes, I woke up and I looked out the window and I saw that it was wet. And I began to give thanks and praise. And I lit a candle. Oh, because something been trying to get me to spend money. I want to go get my feet done. And I'm not talking about just a pedicure. I'm talking about a massage. You know, massage costs way more than just a regular pedicure. Double. I just started my business, though. I want to go get a Brazilian blowout. But I'm not. I got goals. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And I told my angels, and I told my angels, I believe in self-care. I'm telling y'all my business. But I believe in self-care. Self-care is so important. And I told them that I would not deny myself of those things that I know I deserve. However, I got goals. And I got to make some changes if I'm trying to get to these goals. So you get me to my goal, and we'll get back to going to get massages again. And going to get Brazilian blowouts again. We'll get back to that. Get me to my goals. Because, honey, I don't need to be spending it just because I got it. We're trying to get to goals. We got goals. And so that's what I told my angelic forces. And we can command these forces. And I know they're going to work with me. I know they're going to work with me. And so, yes, I lit my candle and I gave them thanks. I gave them thanks for it already being done. And during prayer, my door was cracked. And it looked like somebody was standing there looking at me. And my eyes adjusted, but I felt the presence. And when my eyes adjusted, I saw that it was my scarf. But see, I see fairies too. I see orbs of consciousness. So then the orb, it was a white orb, floated around the room. Went around the room. It left the scarf. They don't have body. It's kind of like this game that me and my kids like to play on Roblox. It's kind of like hide and seek. So like there's a room, right? And then you could like go in the room and you could turn into any of the pieces of furniture in the room. And then like the other characters got to find, the people that are not really furniture. Get it? And so that's how these spirits, they don't have a body. But they can get, because a brother came to me yesterday and he was like, I was trying to tell him, I said, everything is alive. He was like, so that light pole is alive? That wood is alive? Yes, it's alive. He didn't understand. He didn't even have a phone. I'm like, if you give me your number, I can counsel you and tell you a little bit more. But the angel that spoke to him was the angel of change. And hopefully I told him to pray so he can get it, because he didn't get it. It's like in order for you to get the things that you want out of life, you're going to have to make some changes. You're going to have to change your habits to get to where you want to get to. And then once I get to where I want to get to, then we'll get back to my old habits, my regular maintenance. But it takes sacrifice. That's what that card said. Sacrifice. So anyway, I was having that conversation with my angels, putting it into the ethers, and a presence showed up. And it was looking at me through my door. And then it left the scarf. And it was a small little white orb. Because I told you that fairies look like pixie dust, like little gold flakes in the atmosphere. If you ever see any gold flakes, that's consciousness coming from the earth. Those are fairies. They're living entities. And angels, when they show up, they come to give gifts. They do. They have gifts to give. And so you can ask what you will. Ask what you will, and you shall receive. Believe. Believe it. And if you believe it, you're going to give thanks. Because I'm making ripples in the atmosphere saying thank you. Baby, I'm giving you the goals on how to be successful. Hello? Can you hear me? Do you hear me? Did you get the call? Is it computing? My new phone case. Thought I flexed just for a second. Ow. This is my business phone. If you want to know who your guardian angel is, make sure you leave a comment. Let me know that you would like a consultation or a reading. My readings are starting off at $5. That's for one pull to find out who your guardian angel is. And that's going to help you. That is really going to help you in, with whatever you're dealing with. A full card read, $10. And then if you want to know your life's purpose, we will talk about that, because that I will have to do a lot of studying. But you will have your answer in about 24 hours. So, but I will pull a lot of information for you, and you will know so much about who you are and what you were sent here to do. Because it all has to do with the planetary lineup when you were born. And so if you are interested in that, just let me know. If you also need some curse, I can, we can talk about curse breaking rituals. That information, that's a quick donation, of $10. And what $10 allows you to do is to continue to ask questions on, I will help you through your ritual process, or help you get set up, and then any other consultation beyond that. But definitely, if you have any questions, you'll be able to thoroughly be set up and do your ritual to break any bloodline curses. You might have family members that need to move on, and they're still around. They might not have moved on, and you are probably the one that need to break your bloodline curses and liberate your bloodline. And so, I'm Professor X. Thank you for viewing. Thank you to my 53 subscribers and counting. In order for me to know who you are, I'm going to need you to put a comment in down below so I can get your name on the list. And we will do a Cash App drawing. I want to do it Saturday when we wake up, because my husband and I are going to a luncheon. We're going to the Carib Mass luncheon. Yes, in Fayetteville. Hello, y'all. I'm about to go tear up the dance floor again. So, thank you again. Make sure you like and subscribe and turn on your notification. I am going to come on live and read who the winners are Saturday before my husband and I go on our date. All right. Shalom, galactic family.